It's a death that's been making headlines for a couple weeks now. 76-year-old former football star O.J. Simpson. Joining us this afternoon to chat about his death, his will, and how his situation could be similar to yours is legal expert and attorney Danielle Mayoris. Thank you so much for being here, Danielle.
Thank you for having me.
So we're going to talk about wills generally, but also tying it into O.J. Simpson's story. First, talk about how wills work in general.
Well, will is basically instructions to the probate court. So anyone who dies with a will and has assets in their individual name, it goes through the court system. And a lot of people don't like that because it's a public process. So that's how we've been able to see O.J. Simpson's will. And even though we may not be as high profile as O.J. Simpson, most of us don't want nosy neighbors or family members being able to look up what we have and who we're leaving our money to.
Of course. So how can you keep this a more private process and out of the public eye?
A perfect way to do it is to use a revocable living trust. But the way that a trust works is you have to transfer your assets into the trust. So what's interesting in O.J. Simpson's will is that the beneficiary under his will is his trust. So that tells us that he didn't finish transferring all of his assets into the trust, because if he had done it properly, he would have avoided the court system, at least his estate would. But it's not surprising because he did his will and trust just a few months before he passed away.
Oh, interesting. I didn't realize he did that right before. So are the provisions in O.J.'s will pretty typical, would you say?
For the most part, yes. It looks like a very standard will. One thing that a lot of people have been interested in is he has a no contest clause in it, which I use as an attorney. A lot of attorneys use it. It basically means if any beneficiary doesn't like what they're getting and they try to fight it, they're disinherited, or in O.J. Simpson's case, they would receive $1 according to his will. So it works really well for us estate planning attorneys to make sure that our clients' wishes are followed and to try and minimize any fighting that will occur.
Okay, and we've seen in the news there's been a lot of headlines about his creditors being paid and the Goldman family as well. Tell us about how all of this is working.
Well, when you're in the probate court, you're subject to the probate court rules, so creditors have an opportunity to make a claim on the estate. And that's what happens in O.J.'s estate as well as anyone else in the probate court. What's interesting about O.J.'s estate is we don't know at this point in time how much money is actually going to be in the probate court because his executor, his personal representative, hasn't filed an inventory. Once the inventory is filed, we'll know exactly how much money is in the probate estate, and that will give creditors a better idea if there's any money there to be had. If not, they're going to have to pursue other means.
Okay, so if people want to learn more about estate planning, where can they find you?
They can find me at our law firm at www.brmmlaw.com.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for being here and breaking this all down, but also at the same time connecting it to a big story that we've been following. Appreciate it.